Now it's time for your 420 Radio News for Thursday, June 20th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. U.S. House approves amendment to allow hemp cultivation for research from the Normal blog. This morning, the United States House of Representatives approved an amendment to H.R. 1947, the Federal Agriculture Reform and Risk Management Act of 2013, also known as the Farm Bill, that will allow for the cultivation of hemp for academic research at universities and colleges. This would only apply to states that have already passed legislation allowing for industrial hemp production. The amendment, sponsored by Representatives Polis, Blumenauer, and Tom Massey of Kentucky, was approved by a 225 to 200 vote, with over 60 Republicans supporting it. The House and Senate must now conference to reconcile differences between the two versions of the bill. Please take a moment of your time to call your senators and urge them to support this important amendment and keep it in the final version of the legislation. Senate and Assembly panel approve bill helping minors use medical marijuana program in New Jersey. From NewJersey.com. The Senate and Assembly Budget Committee today voted separately to approve a bill that would make it easier for children to participate in New Jersey's medicinal marijuana program. The bill, A4241, would require parents to obtain only one doctor's recommendation, rather than the three the law and state rules require, in order for a minor to participate in the program. The bill also would allow dispensaries to grow more than 3 strains of marijuana and to sell it in edible form, conditions state rules forbid. The committee voted 9-1 this morning with 2 abstentions to approve the bill. It now heads to the full assembly. This afternoon, the Senate voted 25-13 to approve a similar bill, S-2842. New study, cannabis smoking not associated with increased lung cancer risk or other serious pulmonary complications, from the Normal blog. A forthcoming review to be published in the journal Annals of the American Thoracic Society reiterates that the ingestion of cannabis smoke poses nominal pulmonary risks compared to those associated with tobacco smoke. The author of the paper, Donald P. Tashkin, M.D., Emeritus Professor of Medicine and Medical Director of the Pulmonary Function Laboratory at the David Geffen School of Medicine at the University of California, Los Angeles, performed U.S. government-sponsored studies of marijuana and lung function for over 30 years. A preview of Dr. Tashkin's forthcoming review appears on the American Thoracic Society news website. It reads, quote, Dr. Tashkin found that regular smoking of marijuana by itself causes visible and microscopic injury to the large airways that is consistently associated with an increased likelihood of symptoms of chronic bronchitis that subside after cessation of use. He also found that the evidence does not indicate that habitual use of marijuana leads to significant abnormalities in lung function when assessed either cross-sectionally or longitudinally, except for possible increases in lung volumes and modest increases in airway resistance of unclear clinical significance. The author finds no clear link between marijuana use and the development of COPD or lower respiratory tract infections. In addition, findings from a limited number of well-designed epidemiological studies do not suggest an increased risk for the development of either lung or upper airway cancer from light or moderate use, although evidence is mixed concerning possible carcinogenic risks from heavy long-term use, Dr. Tashkin notes. In summary, the accumulated weight of evidence implies far lower risks for pulmonary complications of even heavy, regular use of marijuana compared to the grave pulmonary consequences of tobacco. Weed eats the man, marijuana lobbyists best White House in annual softball game. A bearded band of marijuana lobbyists defeated the White House's unofficial softball team for the second year in a row on Wednesday, dealing the powers that be yet another loss in the 40-year war on drugs. Reflexes undulled, the one-hitters beat STOTUS, the softball team of the United States, 5-2. It was not quite the wipeout of last year's 25-3 victory, but the pro-drug reform crowd savored yet another win after November's twin referendums for marijuana legalization in Colorado and Washington. Marijuana-fed pork becoming highly successful, from KSN.com. It's a different kind of head shop found just down the stairs from the Pike Place Market. It's the BB Ranch selling something that's even better than bacon. It's marijuana-fed pork. The pig farmer has been feeding them marijuana for the last 2.5 months of their life, and they've been happy as hell, said William von Schneidow, owner of the butcher shop. The pigs are raised in a farm about an hour outside of Seattle. In fact, these pigs are on a rock star diet. The mix contains drugs and alcohol, the booze coming by way of spent grains from Woodinville's Project V vodka. The pot pigs grow to be extra fat and really happy, according to the farmer, who wants to be anonymous. Steve Freeman at Celtic Cowboy Barbecue in Edmonds says the results are stunning. That's some pretty happy pork right there. He's done a good job with that. I really like that, he said. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, June 20th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we bring you video from Headline News with Cheryl Schumann, the Martha Stewart of marijuana, speaking to Dr. Drew. We'll be right listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org.